welcome to Women in Transition. Ignore the noise in the background. It's spring break. There's video games happening. You should be able to hear me just fine. You might hear the occasional child back there playing. Welcome to Women in Transition. We are live today, and I want to talk to you about something very important. How healthy are your savings? And you might think I'm talking about money, but you might be surprised at what I'm getting at. So let's start off with our tea today, which is a Tsukimi Ryokucha. See that? Also came in a Sakura box that I got. I think this one is from December, and I hadn't had a chance to try it yet. So I'm going to try this one today. I got a pair of these at the Japanese fair festival that I'd gone to last year. So we had the black one yesterday. I've got the white one today. Cute little Kit Kats. Got our honey and our spoon and the hot water. Okay, so for a lot of people, when you hear the word savings, you automatically think, oh, you mean how much money do I have in my bank account, my Roth, ooh, it's another green tea. Definitely a little more bitter smell today. Interesting. We'll see. I don't like them. They're real bitter, but I like trying new things. So this is new. So usually when I say savings or we think about savings, we think about our finances, 401k, Roth, investments, stock market. And I assume that you think I'm going to talk about the state of the stock market, right? Because it's going up and down and sideways. That's not what I'm here to talk about, though. Because yes, the state of your monetary savings is definitely something that you need to keep an eye on. Obviously, with folks jacking around with the economy, things are going to have a little bit of an unsettled feel to it. But that extends into other areas as well. 1 second. I have a genuine kettle. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. And I love having a kettle that whistles. All right, we have done it. The kettle it's well loved. I've had it, how old is my, I've had it 13 years. It's my Le Creuset kettle, and I've had it for 13 years. So when they tell you not to buy things because they're expensive, buy quality. Please buy the quality. The thing that's going to last a decade or more, because man, those things just save you in the end. Okay, anyway. So as I was saying, if you tuned in and you think, oh, she's going to talk about money. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about relationships today. Because our savings, the bank of our savings, the bank of our lives has many accounts in it. And today I want to talk to you about the account that holds your relationships. Now, I put out a video earlier today talking about loyalty and how important it is to have the kind of relationships that you feel safe in. And one of the things that I want to talk about, and I brought up in that video, is how so many of us were raised, I'm talking to the Gen X people, because that's my channel is kind of geared toward the Gen X generation, were raised as latchkey kids. You know, we're very isolated, very, very independent, right? But because of that, when we get a relationship that we feel like it's something that we should have, we hang on to it. Sometimes to our detriment, right? Like, how many relationships are in your life that are depleting your savings of emotional well-being, that are depleting your savings of emotional connection? How many relationships are taking from you and not actually giving you anything in return? That's kind of the question that we're going to wrestle with a little bit today. Again, I put a bit of video out about it earlier, so I won't spend a long time on it, but it's really important because as we move into more uncertain times, it's your tribe that helps you through, right? Hang on, I've got some folks talking to me. Hi, Blue. Hey, how old are you? I'm going to ask a woman how old she is. Stop that now. Is this Scientology live chat? I have no connections to Scientology, so I'm going to have to say no to that one. So as I was saying, the real question is how are your relationships helping to make your life better? And as I was saying, as Gen X generation, we were the latchkey kids, right? We were home before the streetlights came on, but basically kicked out of the house, right? Especially in the summer, from the time we got up until the time those streetlights came on, and nobody literally wanted to see our faces until such time as the streetlights came on, period. And because of that, we roamed wild. Like we are feral children. Here's the downside. Hey, Blue, I always get trolls. I just tell them thanks for stopping in because it bumps my engagement. Here's the downside of having that kind of feral child mentality. When we get into relationships, we hang on to people because Gen X are inherently really loyal because we were lonely kids. And so the friends that we had that we were running the streets with, that we were running around like crazy with, just trying to stay out of trouble from both our families and anybody who might have been trolling around for kids getting in trouble, those relationships meant so much to us. So very much. And so we hang on to them. Fast forward, most of our Gen Xers are in our mid to late 40s, through the 50s, and we still have the same mentality. We still have the same idea that if I have a friend or I have a relationship, a friend, a lover, a relationship, I need to hang on to it for dear life because I don't have a lot of them and I'm used to always having to be alone and I don't want to be alone. Because we do that, we allow wolves in the kingdom, right? We allow the vultures through the door because what happens is we let people in and we forget people change. And then when they do start to change, because we're so loyal and because we're so conditioned to continue to be loyal, we excuse a lot of behaviors that we wouldn't take from total strangers. We wouldn't take it from total strangers, but we'll let people stay in our lives who are depleting our savings account of happiness, who are depleting our joy, who are depleting all kinds of things out of us that they have no business depleting because we don't vet our good friends. We assume that they're exactly who they're supposed to be at all times. And we ignore, and I'm talking about the red flags that we ignore here, right? We ignore the things that we know our gut's saying, let them go. You need to cut these people out of your life. You need to stop talking to them. You need to move them on. But we don't. Because again, socialized to be very independent, socialized to be the kind of kid that doesn't necessarily need anybody or anything. Heck, we were all over creation as kids. But that also meant that little clique that we formed, we kept it. Even if those kids got in trouble, we were loyal to them. Even if those kids didn't necessarily have the best influence on us, we might have stuck with them because that latchkey generation was a really lonely set of kids. We just hid it under bad hair and rock music. So here we are, older, and the world is changing, right? Like there's so much happening in the world. And the question now becomes, who do you trust? And how can you trust them? Who's helping to fill your savings? Who's helping to replenish your savings accounts of joy and happiness? Who speaks well on you when you are not around? Who says your name in places that gets you opportunity? Who values you as a person and won't let anyone speak poorly against you? Who do you trust? Who can you trust? I think that the answer is you can trust the people who will do the things that I've just said that they do. They don't speak on you negatively when you're not around, right? They don't tear down your name or stay silent because they don't want to make waves when other people are tearing down your name. They don't use their beliefs, whether that's political beliefs, whether it's religious beliefs, whether it's whatever beliefs, to do things against you because they love you, right? You've got to start asking yourself at this point in your life, and this channel is called Women in Transition for a reason, because we're moving from one wonderful phase of our life into the next, right? Gen X into the next, right? Who are we going to take with us? Who are you going to take with you? And the hard question may become, are you ignoring some red flags because you're afraid? Do you think that perhaps it's not a good idea? Do you think that perhaps It's not a good idea to perhaps vet the people who've been around for a while, because after all, you should still be able to look at those relationships, and you should be able to still look at the things that look at the people around you objectively and ask yourself, do they still support me? Are we still having the kind of relationship together that brought us together, or has something changed? Has reality shifted our relationship? It's important to have those conversations now, especially when life and reality and things are so unsettling, right? Are so unstable. Hang on a second, I see some commentary going on here. I gotta scroll though. Blue, I don't have to stop yapping, sweetheart. It's my channel. I can talk as much as I want to. All right. So, as I was saying, whomever you choose to put your trust in, make sure that that person has your best interest at heart. And it was hard in November for a lot of people to realize that people they considered really good friends, friends that would always have their back, friends that would always be there for them, are not those people anymore. And so it doesn't hurt to start asking who you're going to walk forward with. Who do you want to do the next decade with, right? We've been on the planet 4 or 5 decades at this point. Who do you want to be doing the next decade with? And are those people currently still here? Or is it time to broaden our horizons? Remember, we're the latchkey feral kids. We know how to go through life independent. Like, we get that. But we also really appreciate the small group of friends that we have, because we're loyal and they mean so much to us. Well, I need you to vet that small group, because it's time for you to move forward into the next chapter of your life. And the last thing that you want to do is drag your red flags with you. It's time to look at the people who have said, you know, we can be friends even if we don't agree on X, Y, and Z. That's great unless that X, Y, and Z is your well-being. Fantastic unless that X, Y, and Z puts you or someone you love at risk. That's a beautiful sentiment unless that X, Y, or Z removes parts of your liberties. Then you can't be friends anymore. And it's important to look at those relationships now, because the world is not going to start getting saner overnight. We have entered crazy town, and we might be here for a while. So who do you want to walk forward with you as you go the next steps on your journey? What tribe do you want to build? Because the flip side of vetting your tribe right now is you also get to re-love and recommit to pouring into the people who are there, who are speaking on you in rooms where you're not, the ones who are making sure that people don't speak on your name because they'll have to go through me first, right? Because you get to look around and go, oh my gosh, this person is cheerleading me and is always telling folks you need to go. Like, by vetting your circle and getting rid of the ones who don't fit the bill anymore, you make space for the ones who love you. You make space for the ones who are going to be with you in the next decade. You make space for them to be able to say, hey, look, still here, still rocking, still shaking, right? And that's really necessary, because as we get older, our friendship circles tend to start to shrink anyway, just virtue of time, right? But the ones that go with us all the way to the end, the ones that make sure that we're not just out there slaying dragons, but they're right there giving us water and food and slaying dragons right next to us, we want them to be there. We want to pour into them, and we want to make sure that we are filling their savings account of happiness and joy and peace and well-being, just as they're filling ours. So it's time to vet your friends. Ask yourself, when's the last time I talked to them? When's the last time they reached out just randomly and said, hey, I'm still here, just letting you know that we may not talk every day, but you pick up that phone. Because the myth is we can go years without talking and pick it up like it was yesterday. No, you can't. No, you can't. Most of us who don't talk to someone for 6 months or a year, when that phone rings again, it's not, oh, we just slid right back into it like nothing ever happened. We want answers. Where have you been? Because if they're your friend and they're really speaking into your life, then you're going to want to know, why didn't you keep in touch and let me know that you were okay? So you got to ask yourself, is that person in your life right now who you haven't talked to in like 6 months? Ooh, that's still too hot, y'all. Can't do it. But we got green tea today, so we'll see what happens. Are there people in your contacts list that you would swear are friends, so close to friends that they're family, that don't return your phone calls? Don't return your text messages? Don't even acknowledge things like happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever the case may be, and yet will show up in 6 months, 8 months, as if nothing has happened and no time has passed? Ask yourself, if I'm not important enough in your life to speak into my life a simple hello, why on earth do I get to be the recipient of whatever drama you're going through now? And I'll tell you, again, part of the reason why we hang on to those relationships, even though they're walking red flags, is because the latchkey kid generation is used to being independent and fiercely loyal. Once we lock in, you're our friend. And I'm asking us to take down that blinder that says we just don't ever say no to our friends. We don't let them go because we can always come back together. And I'm asking you to remember that friendship works both ways. And in a time of instability and tumultuous changes, especially right now, it's really important not to hang on to the friendships that are not hanging on to you. We are women in transition, and our friendships need to transition as well. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I've got some commentary. Hey, Cecily, it's good to see you. Yes, edit the unnecessary relationships and keep moving. BJ, you don't actually have to listen. This is the beauty of it. Your engagement just boosts my numbers. So feel free to not engage all you want to. Let me help you with that. And that takes care of that. So as I was saying, I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that you take a moment and ask yourself, open up your contacts list. Start scrolling through the people that you call your friends, like your real friends, the ones that you would swear up and down. Like if I called tonight and said I need, they would probably call me back. And ask yourself, but I haven't talked to them in 6 months. So am I sure about that? And even if I did call tonight and they would pick up the phone and drop everything, is that the kind of friendship that you need in your life right now? One where you are only friends from one crisis to the next. Because I don't know about y'all, I am looking for peace, not relationships that I have to heal from. I want that for all of us. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. I really appreciate all the feedback, even the trolls, because again, you boosting the algorithm to push me out to people who do actually need to hear this message and who actually want to have good friendships in their lives. Have a great evening, everyone. Again, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button to help the channel, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye now.